Peace, power, people. It's Thema Azize Serwa, the womb sauna practitioner, the mind empowerment coach, and many of you who don't know, I am also a business consultant. Today, I just wanted to share with you some insight that I have been downloading from Spirit over the past couple of days. I'm very grateful for this hurricane that we're experiencing because it's given me some time to be still and have more thinking time and meditative time. Anyway, I am drawing a parallel between womb disease and imbalances and the ego. A lot of women don't necessarily understand the connection. A lot of women, when they come into the womb sauna and they begin to tell their womb story, they don't realize the position of victimhood that is still ruling in their womb and in their spirit and in their mind. And what happens is anytime you decree and declare yourself as a victim, you are invoking the power of the ego. And anytime you invoke ego, you edge God out of the picture. Anytime you decree and declare that that circumstance or situation was hopeless, then you tie the hands of heaven and say that I am going to control this my way. I'm going to digest this my way because even though I feel like a victim, I still feel like I am superior in my capability to handle this the way I need to protect myself. So what happens is the pain from sexual abuses, the pain from abortions, the pain, the guilt, the shame, the embarrassment, all of these different emotions are being managed from the ego instead of a place of love. I want every woman who hears this message to know that you will become free from your past when the story is no longer what happened to you, but what happened for you. So, how do you get to that position? You get there by using the power of love. Love is always the best cure for the ego and all the energy that comes with the ego. So you have to invoke more love for yourself, more love for your body, more love for your environment, your home, your sacred space, more love. Love conquers all. If ever there was a war to exist about your life, your destiny, the tool that would bring victory is love. So I want to bring this into your tangible reality. I want to give you some tools, some steps to take to help you begin to invoke a different kind of energy. First of all, I have to get you to understand and recognize how your ego has been reigning in your life. Anytime you begin to share your experiences with yourself or with someone else, if you ever want to know the truth of how you really feel about it, just listen to your words. So become an active listener of how you share your experiences. Start telling yourself the truth. This is the most important steps you can take to start reversing the power of your ego driven life. Start telling the truth. I started practicing this a few weeks ago. A stranger on the street asked me, "How are you doing?" And in that moment, I was sad, I was angry and frustrated, and I told the truth. And it made room for me to receive love from somebody I didn't even know. When that brother asked me, "How are you doing?" and I said, "I'm frustrated, I'm depressed, and I'm sad right now, and I'm trying to get it together." And he stopped and came back and he looked at me. He said, "Sister, whatever you're going through, know that you are going to get on the other side of it." And he started giving me some words of encouragement. And because I was being honest, the universe gave me the blessing of love and allowed me to get to the other side of things. When you live in your fantasy world and you're not being honest about where you really are, you are creating false progress. And healing cannot reside. True healing does not reside in falsehood in the fantasy world. It is the balance between your fantasy and reality. It is balance, truth, mayat, that brings forth healing. It is the righteous divine order of our universe. That's how things flow. So start being honest. So what the sexual abuse happened 30 years ago and you feel like being a grown woman, you should not still be hurting. If you still have tears to shed, be honest about it. Okay, so what your child, died or you miscarried 20 years ago and you feel like I should be over this. But if you're not, get real. Tell the truth so you can advance, so that you can heal. It is your ego that's keeping you from telling the truth. We're gonna get into the nitty gritty of it. It's your ego that's keeping you from telling yourself the truth. It's your ego that is making you feel like you should be better than the broken woman who's gone through some challenging things. Therefore, you need to get it together. That is the voice of your ego telling you just get it together. And it plays out in different ways, not just in victimhood, but in stagnation and procrastination. The ego will tell you, I got all the time in the world to do what I need to do, and I got to go through my process, and I just got to figure this out first. I got to perfect this first before the public sees my gifts. I got to get this in order before I can service the community with the gifts that the Creator has given me and already perfected. When you get a gift from God, it is a perfected gift. As you start using it and practicing what you've been given, what's already inside of you, then you'll be able to recognize its impact. But you'll never know its impact until you start doing it. And it's the ego getting in your way. Your ego will not only, most people think when you hear ego of conceit, but ego also brings low self worth. And it masks itself as being haughty and proud, when really your self worth, self value is low. So you're compensating with these masks that you wear every day. This kind of energy feeds disease. Womb imbalances, it brings stress, it brings poor self image, it brings low self value and worth. All of that affects your womb. You have to know these energies, these emotions, these feelings affects your womb health and brings imbalance. It will also cause you to take lesser care of yourself because you're not feeling good. So yeah, your energy reserve that you could usually tap into to do the highest good for yourself and for those whose life you're impacting is low. It's at a low vibration. That ego is dangerous, and most women who've gone through traumatic experiences use the power of the ego as a defense mechanism, hoping that that will keep them from experiencing any more trauma in their lives. But what it does is it attracts traumatic energy into your life because the ego only knows how to create drama. That is one of the things it does very effectively. So, first off, you have to start telling the truth. Be honest with yourself. If there are things that you are still working through, who am I or anyone else to judge you for your process? This is your life path, your destiny. Journey through it the way you need to, but be honest. If your relationship is not working, tell the truth. If you're not happy, tell the truth. And you can start with the simple practice of when somebody asks you, "Hey, how are you doing?" Tell the truth. You'd be surprised the love, the comfort, and the healing that'll take place just by starting there. Okay. The other thing that is necessary to invoke love instead of ego is humility. And I am transparent enough to let you know that this is an area where me and Spirit are really, 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 really working diligently to bring balance. Because when something uncomfortable happens to you that you were trying to prevent and that you were trying to avoid, Many women go into that protective space of the ego, which says, I'm too good to have to deal with this ish. I know that I am better than this. And when you begin to function in that energy, it also brings with it separating yourself from the human experience. And when you do that, you are now flowing without compassion and without love because you feel that you have to place yourself in a position of power to protect yourself. Doesn't mean you're a bad person, it just means you're hurt. And this is the method that you've been taught, especially with black women. Oh, I can do bad all by myself. If I got to do bad, let me do bad all by myself. That's a fantasy because you'll never be alone while you're on earth. You're always going to have people. You're always going to have relationships that you're going to have to master and learn how to relate to people in a balanced, healthy way. So, what is it really about? Beneath all of that fire that we emit to consume whatever we feel needs to die, beneath all of that is a dark place within your soul that is bruised and yearning for an effective method of healing and getting free from the pain. And when you start telling yourself the truth, you'll realize that all that fire, all that big talk, all that rah, rah, rah is really nothing but an inward cry that says, I am hurting, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. And no, I can't rush myself through these emotions. I actually will continue to cycle through them until I learn how to handle my emotions in a healthy, balanced way. You can keep running from the scenarios that bring that lesson to your life, but I can guarantee that you'll run right into them again because that is just how gracious and loving the Creator is. The universe will let you cycle through it until you get everything you need to get from it so that you can then move forward. So tell the truth and humble yourself. You are human enough to experience these emotions. Give yourself permission to be bruised. Give yourself permission to be low at times and to be high at times. We're always in this culture trying to show our best. Don't show no flaws, in families. And, we don't tell our secrets. We don't let the world know that we're real, that we all have issues, that we all have, growth and lessons that we're learning in this plane. We front too much. Humble yourself unto yourself. Be humble in that mirror and say, woo, yeah, you're beautiful. Yes, you're successful. Yes, you're all of these things. And yes, you're hurting right now. Yes, today you're not thinking too highly of yourself. So let's get to the root of that. Let's stop running from it and trying to make ourselves feel good about the bad things that we experience. Let's be humble and tell the truth and admit that I'm human and I have a variety of emotions and I'm okay with that because I am creating my emotional management system. And as I do that, I'm learning the balance and I'm learning what tools I need in my life to have peace. Nobody is on the street corners handing out peace. It is not something that comes from outside of you. It is something that you create and exude. I am peace. I've made that covenant with myself. I am not just going to step into a place or position of peace, but it is my prayer that everything within me, every cell in my body, my mind, my spirit, has the characteristic, has the component of peace. All right. Last tool. You need action. As you start digesting all of these different thoughts and this message about the ego and replacing that energy with love, you need something tangible to do as well. So you're going to go through your meditative processes, you're going to go through your prayers, and you might even do some journaling, writing to identify the root of what's really going on and be able to start recognizing when your ego is reigning in your life. But then most of us have not learned how to invoke that love in place of the ego. So one of the things I want you to do is start learning how to use the elements and the tools that the Creator has given us to break up certain spiritual energies that are repetitive. So there's a book, it's been out for a long time by Scott Cunningham. It's called The Complete Book of Incense, Oils, and Brews. In there, Scott offers us a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful tool. And it's called the Break the Habit Bath. It's a spiritual bath you can make. You're going to take 2 parts of rosemary, 1 part lavender, 1 part lemongrass, 1 part lemon verbena, that's VERBENA, and 1 part sage. As you're making and putting the ingredients together for this bath, I need you to go to a mental space where you are confident that you can shift and you can change and break the old stale patterns that have been residing in you. The negativity, the habits of your ego, as well as the root causes of it. So you will probably dig up some memories, and that's the foundational stuff. We're always at the surface, but it's time to go deeper and pull it up from the root. That's how you get rid of it. You pull it up from the root. That's what I do in the womb sauna. I get with these women and we're pulling stuff up from the root. And that's why after their first session, their life is never the same. Because we're not dealing with the surface stuff. We're going to the deeper things, the root. So when you make this bath, you're going to take all the ingredients, the rosemary, the lavender, lemongrass. You're going to put it in a sachet, one of those cotton bags with the strings, the drawstrings that you pull tight. Okay. You're going to place that sachet in the tub. And you're going to wait for the color of the water to change. You're going to let it steep. Usually about 10 to 15 minutes should be enough. Okay. After your bath is ready, I want you to bless your water. You can consider this bath like a baptism. I've been baptizing myself for the past couple of weeks. Me and Spirit have been doing a lot of spiritual baths, and I just sit in the tub and I lay backwards until the water covers my face, and I cry and I pray and I release and I say, when I come up out of this water, I'm coming up anew. A new woman, a new queen, a new powerhouse, a new compassionate, forgiving, loving person. These are the kinds of things and thoughts that will invoke that love over ego. All right, so you're going to lie back in the water, and I want you to do a visualization where you see yourself doing the opposite of that habit. So, for example, if every time somebody hurts you in a relationship, you just run and abandon it and just keep it moving and all of that, I want you to visualize what it would look like to invoke forgiveness, love, and to actually transform the relationship into something better than it's ever been. Okay? If your habit is smoking, drinking, or eating unhealthy foods, your visualization would be, okay, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to imagine myself enjoying a beautiful salad with kale and carrots and onions. And I want you to visualize that, because this bath is for you. This baptism is going to break the habits. It's a tangible action that you can take to say and send the signal out to spirit. I am doing the work to change this, to shift this, because I know I can change and I know I can evolve and I know that I can be full of love instead of being full of my ego. I know that I'm not a victim. I know that life is joyous for me. And I know that I don't have to have the same story over and over and over again. I'm the author of this story. I am the one who is living this life day in and day out by the grace of God. And I am powerful enough to heal myself. That's the kind of energy that invokes love and makes the ego sit down and shut up. Okay. Visualize the water absorbing those thoughts, those emotions, your desires. Okay. And then seeing your mind's eye all the energy you've been giving to this negative condition, just seeping out into the water. There's been times when I've actually done spiritual baths and the water's turned black, and I know I'm not dirty because I bathe a couple times a day. But seriously, energetically, spiritually, that thing will come up out of your cells. And the herbs that Spirit has given us in the earth are not just for the physical health benefits, but spiritual, metaphysical, emotional, all of that. That is the nature of all of God's creations. That's why the Bible says the herbs are for the healing of the nations, not just your body, but collectively, these tools are here for this kind of use. So, yeah, sometimes you'll see the water get really, really dark. Um, and you'll know when you feel the release and when you feel a peace, calmness, and you feel like you've purged it all out, then go ahead and conclude your bath. Okay. Pull the plug, continue to sit in the tub, let the water drain all the way out. Okay. Then run the water with some fresh water and splash that onto your body to wash away any traces of that tainted negative ego that's been just ruling and reigning and bringing all this drama into your mind, to your heart, into your womb, sending out these vibrations of trauma and drama. And then you wonder why, how is it 10 years later and I'm finding myself in a similar experience that I vowed I'd never be in again? It's because the root cause of why you respond to your situations that way has not been dug up. Once that is dug up, then you have to create a new method of dealing with your life's experiences. And as you invoke that love method, the ego cannot defeat love. Love is the best cure for the ego. Love will set you free. Love. Love will set you free. Love is patient. Love is kind. Be kind unto yourself. Tell the truth. Humble yourself unto yourself and take action. So, this break the habit bath, do it daily. Do it as often as necessary, but definitely I would encourage you to make a covenant with yourself to do it for 7 days straight. Make this bath for 7 days. Wash away the drama. Break up the ground. Break up the habits and celebrate your progress. So, with that being said, this is what was on my heart to share with the people. Spread the word. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. But may this message inspire you to flow in more love so that you can truly, truly heal the core of why you're experiencing what you're experiencing in your life today. Know that I got your back. Spirit is walking with you. You are loved, you are supported, and you are powerful enough to heal yourself. Stay blessed and be peace.